that your life is not worth that. Suicidal. Your life is not worth suicidal at all. You know, your life is meaningful. It should be meaningful at all times. God should bless you and bless me and bless everybody. The good God. Of course, if you say God today, there's so many gods. Everybody is saying God. Sometimes people are blessing you, and they are idolic worshippers, and they are blessing you and say God bless you. And what can you do? Just more or less they are cursing you because you truly don't believe in the God that they are blessing you with. But yeah, and if such a God that you don't believe in come to bless you, can you imagine? But that's sometimes that's what happens. You know, God is a unique topic and idea. You know, and if I touch on it with every seriousness of it. My tongue or my speech might not be so fluent and with very sophisticated sort of approach, but with the so-called natural intentions and you might see it as maybe typical way of approach. It's quite very much worth it to me. Of course, if you don't see that I'm speaking out of a sense of seriousness, I don't know what sort of person you might be, but there is sense of seriousness. All I can give you is my word. It is serious. You know, as I've mentioned several times, I have a view of women, but I cherish them. If I don't cherish them, I don't cherish myself. I cherish them. They're beautiful people. Men, we are also very nice people. You know, we have our own ways, but we are very nice people. So are women. There are also very bad women, and there are also bad men. In terms of religion and understanding how religion works in our lives, I see it as something which, if it works, the process by which it works needs to be touched on, needs some changes, needs some serious changes. That's what I'm addressing all these things for. They have affected our lives. They have not really entirely benefited our lives. They have entirely, in a stronger sense, attacked and degraded our lives. You know, we've learned things from it that we know, and gradually, in a larger sense, we've drifted away from it. I mean, where do we think politics come from? From religious background and all that. Gradually, the children of all people who are strongly religious people ended up as become politicians. That is why still the generation that has taken over, that is now doing politics, have set rules and measures to preserve Rome. Rome is a state of its own, sovereign state. Rome, where the Roman Church originally are having their center of church, you know, in Italy. In a country, that church is a sovereign state on its own, have its own grounds of operation, police, its own prisons and things of that nature. Because the politicians, the leaders of the political world of America, Britain, whichever, in Europe, even in Italy, are descendants of children who, you know, religiously were ruling and all that. So it makes sense for them to sort of preserve and give them that, you know, privilege, or give that privilege, even though they have shifted and taken over ruling life, ruling, you know, leadership, because due to the fact that they didn't see the sense in it. They see that it was terrible. It was really mean thing to do. But still, they have to give it a place in life. They can't just cut it off or make it feel very bad, or it's like they're doing it to themselves. It's like they're humiliating their own self. Just like I said, you want to love somebody, you love yourself first. I mean, demonstrating that you love yourself towards somebody is in so many ways you showing that you truly love yourself, that you know what love is about. You know, you can't love anybody if you don't love yourself. How can you love? A mean person does not love himself. They hate themselves. That is why they are mean. That's my view. You can check it out. You know, you can experience that to see if you're a mean person. You will realize that you have no love, for yourself. Selfish people may be selfish on the basis that they don't know what they are doing, but they hate themselves. It is their hatred that is making them become that selfish. They hate themselves. I mean, if you spend your life abusing yourself with so much, do you think you love yourself? No. What love are you demonstrating there? You hate yourself. Whether it is eating or it is drinking, whichever way it is, you hate yourself. How many people who drank, I used to have an uncle who drank his head out. He's dead. In fact, his life, and looking at him and his alcoholic life, you can tell every day he was living a death life. I mean, he was always on the edge. He was thin and very thin, like someone with alexia, or what they call it. It's an abusing beyond control. And if you do that, you don't love yourself. You hate yourself. If you really hate yourself, you will not abuse yourself. You not do it too much. So loving yourself in so many ways, we're demonstrating, if you, through the love that you have for people, you are demonstrating that you love yourself. And if you're mean, you are mean. You don't really care about anybody. You don't care about yourself, too. Anyway. And as I looked onto all these things, and they said to us, God loved us so much that he has given his only begotten Son to save our lives from the terrible situation of which we caused, or our parents or our sisters caused, and now we are sinners. So every day, most time you end up in this realization by somebody telling you about your state. So because God loved himself very much, he loves us. Okay, accepted. From my own, definition, as I see, God loves us, so accepted. But why does God love us? And where is God? We don't know where God is. But we know definitely that we came from this earth. We did not come from the sky. We don't fall from the sky. We came from this universe. So obviously we can first approach of God is like the universe. The universe is God. Everything. This is God's glory. This is God. And we are inside God. So in this sense, if we are inside God and everything is God, why should we think that God hates himself? If God hates himself, he's hating the entire universe, including ourselves, hating the globe, hating everything. So obviously it makes sense to see that God loves us. He loves everybody. He loves everybody. He loves everything. Because he loves himself. It is his love, demonstrating his love towards us, like loving, demonstrating and showing you how much he loves himself. And he's not mean. That is what it all means, that he's not mean as well. But if you are having thoughts that demonstrate to you that God hates you, God hates himself, that doesn't make sense, does it? That God hates even the animal, God hates the star. That means God hates himself. Glory of God have issue with himself. Yes, that's what it sounds like to me. I mean, we owe it to ourselves to understand, to understand the implications that we sort of want to present, the ideas we want to present out there. We have to understand. We have to understand. If we read the book of Deuteronomy and we keep reading and we keep reading and we keep searching and we are unveiling things, we are discovering things that are beyond, things that we used to think of it in a different way, that we think it add up to the story, but we ended up realizing that it doesn't add up. So if that is the case, then it's our responsibility to figure out why these things don't add up. And we have to turn things around. If we look at Deuteronomy, continuation from the past of what we have talked about, Deuteronomy 17, you shall not sacrifice to the Lord your God a bull or sheep which has any blemish or defect, for that is an abomination to the Lord your God. worshiping something opposite of what God is.